Okay, folks, Jake Noecker back again here talking some arena grappling, this time with the opposite side of the main event, Dave Romano. Dave, my man, how you doing?
Great. Everything's going well. Training's going well. I'm feeling good, and I'm ready to put on a show for you guys in the main event.
Hell yeah, man. Main event spot. You're going up against Luke Shiomos, and I think it's interesting. You actually beat Luke's brother in a past arena grappling event, so how do you feel about going up against the other brother now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel good about it. I'm expecting a tough match, right? I know his brother's pretty good. I know Luke's gonna kind of bring that same type of technical grappling, and I think I do have the style to beat it. It's kind of like, it could go either way type of thing where, he's very traditional jiu-jitsu, leg locker type style, and I'm MMA pressure. So like, if, as long as we play our cards right, each one is the kryptonite for the other, if it just comes down to, being in good condition and skill.
The conditioning is an important thing to mention here because for those who don't know, arena grappling is a little bit different. We go 3 5-minute rounds, most submissions wins. And then if nobody gets a submission, or if it's a tie in the submissions, you go to a 4th round, sudden death. First submission wins, and that could take 4 hours. So how do you feel about the format?
I love it. And like I said, I'm an MMA fighter, so it actually kind of plays into my game. That's what I train for. We're sparring, 5-minute rounds, pushing it with good guys, stuff like that. So having those 5-minute rounds is kind of perfect for me. I like it a lot. And I actually feel like it brings some excitement back into grappling because, with these, if it was just straight 15 minutes and there's no multiple submissions, then you don't have the excitement of a possible comeback, right? That's what's so exciting about MMA. Like, you could have a guy lose the first round, come back in the second round, get a knockout, get a submission, and it brings excitement back into the match, right? I feel like that's what's missing from competitive grappling, and Arena has brought that back, and it's super exciting to be a part of. Been blessed so far to be a part of every one of their events in some shape or form since they started, and I expect to continue that for as long as I can.
And training for this event, main event slot, where is your main gym? Where do you train out of?
10th Planet Nazareth with JM Holland. Yeah, he's my head coach. As far as jiu-jitsu, he's my head jiu-jitsu coach. And, we're hoping to kind of bring something a little different, than I think, with the match with Luke, I wasn't very happy with that performance, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I kind of wanted to bring something a little more exciting, maybe something a little different than what I normally do. So, we've been working on a couple things. We got a couple tricks up our sleeves, so to speak.
And, you being a 10th Planet boy, can I assume that your guard game is wicked?
No. No, I'm an MMA fighter above all. So when I'm in that, in that position, I'm position over submission, right? So I'm looking, and that's actually something we've been working on. It's funny you bring that up because, JM's like, dude, play your guard, I do have guard. I do have submissions from there, but it's not my A game. Like, I'm not looking to pull guard. I'm not looking to jump guard. I'm looking to smash. I want to be on that top position. I want to smash. But, I do have some tricks from there. It's not something that, I rely on. That's not my game. That's not my go-to. But, if you're a well-rounded martial artist, you have some things that you work from every position. But that's not really what I'm looking to go in to do. And it's funny coming from a 10th Planet gym, you would think that, but no, that's not my game.
Yeah, I'm just wondering because 10th Planet, you guys like to be on your backs a little bit, but not you.
Yeah, no, I prefer not to be. That's just, I don't want to get hit. I'm trying to be the guy that's on top, raining down the punches, and that's how I like to do it. But JM's like, hey, dude, like, you might end up in that position eventually. So we do work from there. But like I said, it's not my go-to.
Understood. Totally get it. And, this might be a weird question because it is a grappling match that could potentially go 4 hours long. But do you have a prediction for this fight?
That's hard to say. I think I'm going to win. Like, I wouldn't take a match if I didn't think I could win it, As far as how, I think it might just come down to that 4th round. I feel like it's going to go into a 4th round, to be honest. Like, I think he's very technically good. I'm good, and, I have pressure. I have stamina. And I feel like I'm going to end up getting him in that 4th round because I don't fade. I actually, sometimes I get better as the rounds go, just getting warmed up, getting loose. So I feel like it's going to come down to that 4th round. And I think I'm going to come out on top because I'm used to going there. I'm used to going in those deep waters. Either way, I respect the hell out of those guys. They're both great competitors, and I'm just excited to be able to share a cage with them again, or with one of them, anyways.
Right. Yeah. With the other brother. So, do you have a favorite submission you like to practice or pull off in a competition?
So it's funny because I've gotten in this armbar positions a couple times, and a couple of my matches triangles, right? But those aren't my favorite things to rep in the gym. Sure. I say I have a baseball bat choke, a no-gi baseball bat choke that I really love. I haven't been able to pull it off in a match yet. I've gotten close. It's hard to finish. That's kind of like my favorite to go to in the gym, just like messing around, when you're loose and relaxed and you can find it from different positions. That's one of my favorites. But, I've been getting triangles in a lot of my competition. That's not really something that I rep a lot. It's just, I think that comes from the pressure. It comes from, having good stamina, guys starting to fade, and then they give up the opportunity for an easy submission, like a triangle or something like that. That's a high percentage submission. But yeah, I have some funky things. I like that. I have a calf slicer that I like to do that I actually pulled off in one of my matches. That's something that I do in the gym, messing around, rolling around. And I got a couple things that I like to do.
So co-main event slot, Nick Ficina, who's on the event with you, he said one of his goals is to hit a submission that the announcers, commentators say they don't know what it is. And I'm going to be commentating. So if you hit a baseball choke, a baseball bat choke, I'm gonna be like, what the hell is this, man?
You'll know it when you see it. If you have to question what it is, it's the baseball bat choke. And that's the thing, like I call it a no-gi baseball bat choke. I've gone to other gyms where they call it a ninja choke. They call it I've heard other guys just like different names for everything. Every gym has that,
Yeah.
It's the same thing with wrestling. You go into a wrestling room and they're like, oh, do this, and they say a name for something, and then they show the move, and you're like, oh, I've never heard of that before, right. But you've seen the move before, So it's kind of one of those things. I call it a no-gi baseball bat choke. Other gyms might call it something else. So we'll see.
Well, I'm excited.
You can call it whatever you want, is basically what I'm saying.
I'm excited to see it, and I'll call
on it. Nobody's gonna call you out on it.
All right, cool. I'll call something crazy, but you got to hit it though. That's the deal. You got to hit it.
I'll do my best.
So Dave, you kind of touched into this a little bit. We're getting towards the end here, but mixed martial arts. We have seen you in Cage Fury. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes. Yeah, I fought for Cage Fury a couple times.
That's what I thought. I didn't want to misspeak. What's next there, dude? Do you have any news coming up? Because I believe we haven't seen you in the octagon since what, 2022?
Yeah, it was last year. So beginning of last year, March, actually. It's coming up on a year since I've been in the cage. And that's not by my doing. I've been matched up. I've had opponents drop out. I've had, multiple opponents drop out, events drop out. Like the one event I was on just got canceled completely. So I've been trying to get in there, trying to stay busy with MMA. And that's kind of plays into my grappling, because I'm like, hey, if I don't have anything on the horizon right now as far as MMA, let me get busy competing, just to stay in shape, just to have something. You get a little nerves, it's just good to go through the motions of getting in the cage, stuff like that. So I am looking to fight MMA again soon. I've been dieting down. I usually walk around a little heavier, so I've been, dieting, trying to trim down a little bit, get ready to make 55. But yeah, I'm actively looking for a fight. So it's one of those things where I'm putting the word out there. Sometimes, like I said, opponents drop out. I had 3 fights booked for this past year that got dropped. So, damn. And it wasn't my, that was all opponents dropping out and stuff like that. So I'm looking, I'm actively looking. And first up is my little brother though, Jesse. He's fighting March 25th at the Sands in Bethlehem at the casino. So, I'm just gonna focus on him, get him ready, sparring, all that stuff, mimic his opponent. His opponent's actually the same height and kind of size as me. So, we've been getting good rounds in, and I'm just focused on him right now.
My last question for you, Dave, not about fighting or grappling, just about you. When you're not training and fighting and rolling, if that is ever a time in your life, How do you spend your free time, man? Do you have any like hobbies or interests outside of MMA?
Man, I do a lot of stuff. I have a construction business, so that takes up the majority of my time. And that never, when you run your own business, it never stops. It's
Right.
constant. Other than that, I love fishing. I'm a fisherman, so when I get time on the weekends, I'm out fishing. I snowboard. I ride horses. Like I do pretty much anything under the sun that you could imagine. But it's all a matter of having time. So as far as right now, like the biggest things for me is running my business, me and my brother's business, I should say, and training. And that's the main thing that takes up my time. Other than that, like I said, I get out on the lake and do some fishing and stuff like that. It's a good contrast to everything else. Just relaxing, taking some time off, decompressing. That's probably my favorite thing to do. Anything that doesn't require stress and physical activity.
Well, nature can be one of the best medicines, 100%.
Absolutely, yeah.
But Dave, that's really all I got for you today, man. Thank you so much for joining me, and everybody who's watching, don't miss it. March 17th, Arena Grappling Versus Series 5 will be available to watch, and this man, Dave Romano, going to be in the main event, getting a freaking baseball bat choke, whatever the hell that is. So Dave, thank you, man, and I'll see you there, and we'll get an interview in after your win, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you so much.